go. Stand by for deployment. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Resurgence. Stay alive to keep your squad in the fight. Enemy dropping into the AR.
Bro, open it.
You're getting another chance. Weapons free. Airstrike available. Be advised, Mark remaining operation from that squad. Hunt them down.
Establishing course, changing mags.
You're losing ground. Moving.
Copy. 1031 on foot. Break it down.
Rule number 1. Read the manual.
The enemy squad hunting you is down. Clear for now. Enemy airstrike in the area. It's all good kill. Back man. Get hunt. You have reinforcements. Time for vengeance. You're redeploying. Your squad mate is redeployed. Well done. You've made it to the top 10. We've got 10 squads active in the field. Enemy soldiers incoming.
Yeah.
Get ready. Surgeon's window is about to close.
I'm hurt. Bad.
Your squad made it to the safe zone. Gas is moving. Back on station. Go get after it. Be advised, it's no longer active. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work.
Inserting armor.
bounty on your head. Eliminate hostiles and secure supply caches to get rid of them.
I can help you. Inserting armor.
Most wanted contract failed. Your squad mate was KIA. Only 10
Oh, alright.
Rucker, you're headed to the war zone. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the sky. Prep time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone. Resurgence. inbound. Bounty targets marked. Kill them all. You're being tracked by an enemy squad. Stay inside.
Changing maps.
Lost. Target down.
Inserting armor.
Hostile airstrike incoming. Enemy intel located. Capture and secure the intel. Cover the next gas break. Squad's in the safe zone. Gas is closing in.
Inserting armor. Changing maps.
Your squad mate inside securing the intel. Join the increase the speed of capture.
Inserting armor.
Shit.
Got a loadout from.
Back here.
Stand by for redeployment. Intel point captured. Great work. You've earned a piece of the next gas break.
Changing maps.
Oh, what the fuck?
Loaded new mag.
Back here.
Surgeon, go get your revenge. Your squad is down. Stay alive to
Last
bring them
one
back.
standing.
That's 10. Win this thing. Gas is inbound. Back on station. Go get after it.
hijo de Milán, el de dog.
Found a weapon.
Stand by for redeployment. Resurgence window is ending. Watch your six. Your squad mates back on station. Good work. Be advised, you still have squad mates outside the safe zone. Enemy soldier incoming. Enemy destroyed. Attack match to hunt down the rest of them. Precision airstrike ready for target. Heads up. An enemy squad marks you as a bounty target.
Changing mags.
Stand down.
Wait, fucking on? This nigga's wait.
Resurgence has been deactivated. This is the end game. Go get your revenge. Precision airstrike standing by. Solid squad is outside the safe zone.
Changing mags. Inserting armor.
Antes, imagínate los botatos estos. Esos son unos logrados ahí.
Cállate, chico.
Hay un lobby gringo ahí. Gringo ahí.
En el mismo, vive ahí.
Check your gear and weapons. We'll be deploying shortly. Enemy dropping into the AR. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Enemy dropping into the AR.
Incoming lethal.
Enemy soldier incoming. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment. Changing window.
Marking target location.
Resurgence. Survive and your team can redeploy. Eliminate targets to bring them back faster. Alright, soldier. Mark the rocket. Let's go get on. Bounty targets identified. Weapons free.
Hostile shooter.
An enemy squad is hunting you. Stay sharp.
Wait, that's a sniper you had in my hand? Fuck, what you thought it was an AR?
Stand down.
Oh, this nigga, you telling me down here, these niggas coming up behind me.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Wait, sure, I thought I
You're getting another chance. Weapons free. Your squad mate is redeploying. Well done. Squad mates back on station. Good work.
Alright, fella.
Get ready. You're redeploying.
Marking target location. Forget it.
Stand to you, soldier. Stay sharp. You have reinforcements inbound. Supply box is marked. Secure those locations. Loadout drop headed your way. Supply box secured. 2 to go.
Oh no.
Returning you to the front. Earn this. Two supply boxes secured. One remaining.
Same nigga who killed me, boy. Shout out to the wrong person.
Gas inbound. You're redeploying. Your squad mate is redeploying. Well done.
No, boy, no. Come on, boy, why all this can't let that, boy? Fuck, though.
That was close.
I just nigga kill you with my own gun, boy. My own piece, dog.
Contract complete. All supply boxes. We're returning you to the front. Earn this.
Take the strategy, bro. They go to the head, though.
located the rest of them. You're the last one standing, soldier. Survive until you're spotted.
Inserting armor. Inserting armor. Changing limbs.
Enemy dropping into the AO. Surgeons about to end. Make it count. Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your tag map. Get hunting. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work. Move to the safe zone. Gas is moving.
LDVR awaiting targeting data.
Fuck, why I swap guns with? Why did I swap guns? Why? Shit, dog. What was a key firing, boy?
Heading to the war zone. Get geared up and stand by. 1. Deployment to the war zone has been authorized. Resurgence. Survive to redeploy fallen teammates. Kill to bring them back faster. The rest of them.
The last one on you, yellow. Wait, hold on, wait. Where this nigga was? Sure.
Stand by for redeployment. Target down. Marking the rest of them.
I need a medic.
Fuck.
Your squad mates redeployed. Well done. You've got gas moving in. Get ready. Redeploy. You have reinforcements inbound.
Changing medics. Converting armor.
Enemy movement in the AO.
Down. Stay alive to bring them back. You've got a loadout drop inbound.
Oh shit. Oh, the full team will push me just now.
That time. Dust yourself off, regroup, and get back out there.
Number 3 is always study it when you can with classical music. Gentle classical music with no words. Gentle classical music of any kind, especially music from the classical period of Mozart, Bach, Brahms, Dvorak, Beethoven, and Stravinsky, for instance. These composers have a classical 60-beat Baroque backbeat within their music. And if you play with classical music or even environmental sounds like the sounds of waves or the oceans, white music as it's called, you have that in the background, it relaxes the brain, it opens the left and the right hemisphere, and it allows information to come in through the left brain and be internalized into the right brain where it is stored in the seat of memory. So what you want to do is through music, you want to relax the corpus callosum, relax the brain so that information can flow in through the left brain and into the right. A fourth key point is spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is important. Now, some people say, why is it, or how is it that I can give a seminar like this all day without notes? And I sometimes do day after day after day of seminars without notes. I must have a great memory. I don't have a great memory. I just study all the time, and I use spaced repetition, and I review it over and over again. There's another thing, too, by the way, is that the more you learn, the more you learn. When you start to study, remember that it takes practice to learn how to learn. It takes practice, practice, practice. Is that the more you practice learning how to learn, the more likely it is that you'll learn. The first few days when you're studying a new subject, you'll find it takes tremendous effort. Now, here's another important point, and that is variety. Variety of stimulation is critical. The number of different ways that you stimulate your mind, different books, different magazines, plays, different exposures to different conversations, different subjects, and so on. If you bombard your mind continuously with stimuli that challenges your mind, you will find that you'll develop the capacity to learn and remember more. And number 7 is remember this. It's called attention span. Is the time when you learn the most is at the beginning of a period of study and at the end of a period of study. What does this tell you? It tells you that instead of studying or reading for a long period of time like this, say 2 or 3 hours, what you do is break it up and take several breaks so that you have a series of breaks. And you'll always remember what you learn at the beginning of the break, at the beginning of the period, at the end of the period, the beginning and end. So the more breaks that you can take, the more variety that you can put into your studying, the faster you'll learn. The key to remember this is that everything that you are or ever will become is going to be as a result of the information you take into your mind. The practical, usable information that you can take and use to bring about some kind of improvement in the world around you. If you want to earn more, you have to learn more. If you want to be happier, you have to learn more. If you want to realize your full potential as a human being, you have to learn more, which means read, study, and learn how to learn. And if you'll do that, you'll be amazed at how much of your mental potential you can release. Session 14, Progressive Relaxation with Music. The work of Georgy Lazarov in establishing the sciences of suggestology and suggestopedia, which is the application of the power of suggestion to the process of learning, also have applications with regard to you and I in terms of reprogramming our subconscious mind. You see, if we can learn a subject like French or English, if we can learn history or mathematics, if we can learn something very, very fast as a result of deep relaxation with music in a systematic, organized process, can't we also learn new belief systems? Can't we also learn new ideas, concepts, characteristics, qualities? Can we develop confidence, courage, the ability to earn more money, the ability to be better parents, better bosses, and so on, using the same techniques? Yes, we can. Now, over the years and over the centuries, over all the course of mankind, great mystics, great leaders, great religious teachers, great philosophers, and thinkers have found that by relaxing deeply, even without music, just relaxing deeply and meditating or dwelling on particular thoughts or ideas, whether it's a quality or a mantra or something else, deep relaxation and meditation on a particular thought enables us to internalize the thought. Let me talk about this for a second. The key is deep relaxation. Remember we talked about the law of relaxation that says the harder that you don't try, the better it works. In all mental working, effort defeats itself. Therefore, whenever you present new information to your mind in a state of deep relaxation, it is accepted far more rapidly. If you want to become a positive, outgoing, enthusiastic, wealthy, influential, successful human being, you must change your mental programming so that your internal programming, your beliefs, your self-concept, your essential fundamental convictions are consistent with what you wish to experience in the outside. And deep relaxation is the key. That relaxation is the key to the vault of riches. That relaxation is what unlocks your tapped potential. And most of our modern times have been spent on finding ways to do things harder, to force things, to drive things, but we're finding more and more as we study the history of man and the Eastern religions and the research that's been done in this field that deep relaxation is the key. Even Harvard University has done experiments on relaxation and found that even one process of deep relaxation changes brainwave activity over that of people who don't. Now, there's several ways. One is meditation. Well, what is meditation? Meditation is simply closing your eyes, taking a deep breath, dropping into alpha. It's as simple as that. As you take a deep breath and close your eyes, you drop into alpha, and your brainwave activity from here just goes here. When you sit on a park bench and daydream, you're in a form of meditation with your eyes closed. Meditation is very, very healthy, restful, very refreshing, and many people have gotten into what is called transcendental meditation, which is really a systematization of the process of meditation, where you take a mantra, and you sit down, close your eyes, relax, and you repeat the mantra. Now, what is a mantra? A mantra is merely a meaningless word. Dr. Herbert Benson at Harvard University found that if you just repeat the word one over and over again, that'll be good enough. In terms of closing your eyes, repeating the word one, each time you exhale, you'll drop into a state of meditation in a matter of a few seconds, even if you've never done it before. Now, meditation is very healthy. What does it do? It relaxes the whole body. It relaxes the mind. It integrates the personality. It causes you to feel more calm and more assured. It lowers your flash point in that it causes you to be more self-assured and less likely to get angry, to get tense. It causes you to sleep better at night. It causes you to digest better. It causes you to achieve your goals better, and so on. So meditation or deep relaxation is an essential part of you achieving your potential. Sometimes people say, I don't have the time to do this. Whenever you don't have the time, that's the time when you have to do it the most. Anything that takes you into a state of deep relaxation brings you down to the point where your mind can function in the levels of alpha and can integrate your personality. There's a whole science called the science of psychosynthesis that says that meditation on any subject actually synthesizes and integrates and brings together the mind. Well, what Lazanov also found that if you combine relaxation with music, and this is the second part, you can accelerate the process. That when you play gentle music, when you are in a state of deep relaxation, you actually go deeper into relaxation, your mind relaxes even deeper, and as a result, you function better. And if you combine relaxation plus music plus informational input, or the input of words or ideas, you can learn at an accelerated rate. You can bring about rapid and permanent behavioral changes. On the market today, there's a great number of subliminal tapes where they play words hidden beneath the sounds of music or ocean waves or something like that. Now, there's a tremendous amount of research that shows that subliminal tapes work. Many of the subliminal tapes that are sold are not based on that research. They're based on other principles, and I suggest you look at it very carefully before you buy them, because some of them are completely useless, overpriced and useless. Some of them are excellent. But music plus informational input causes the conscious mind, which is the mind that says, wait a second, I'm not taking in that information, causes the conscious mind, the guard at the door of the subconscious, it causes it to relax and fall asleep. And when the subconscious mind falls asleep, the words with the music combined flow straight into the subconscious mind, change and revise all previous programming, and bring about permanent behavioral change. We call this the process of taped affirmation, which I'm going to explain in a second. But let me give you just a brief explanation with regard to Muzak. There are many systems now that have been developed, Muzak systems, which play sort of neutral music as background music in offices, warehouses, and stores. In a Montreal experiment, in a Dominion stores experiment some years ago, they took and they took and they put under the Muzak system a series of messages that said, do not shoplift. Shoplifting is bad. If you shoplift, you'll be caught and you'll be prosecuted. If you shoplift, when you're prosecuted, you'll get a criminal record. So shoplifting is something that you shouldn't do. And they repeated these messages over and over again, but they were inaudible to the human ear. The only thing that shoppers could hear was music. Now, this was a store that was in an area where there was a lot of shoplifting. They found that they played this for a period of 2 months. For 2 months, they played this message under the Muzak system, and in 2 months, the level of shoplifting dropped 50% in that store. They left it on for 2 months, and it stayed at that level, and then they put back the regular music. Over the course of the next 2 months, the level of shoplifting went right back up to normal. They are now using this same process, by the way, where they will put Muzak. There's sales messages, for instance, in sales organizations, they will put a whole series of messages behind the Muzak system. They'll tell everybody that they're there. They'll say, you love to sell, you're a great salesperson, you love this product, you eagerly make calls, you are a good closer, you're a good prospector, you manage your time well. A whole series of messages like that, which will be played behind the Muzak system, and they will find that sales will go up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%. In some warehouse operations, they have systems where they'll have a Muzak system that says, do not steal from your employer, do not pilfer from the warehouse, and so on. They'll find that theft and pilferage will drop 20, 30, 40% in a matter of a very short period of time. Now, this brings us to what we call taped affirmation, which is progressive relaxation with music. Taped affirmation is absolutely wonderful. Taped affirmation is a way of putting your goals onto a tape with music and playing them over and over to yourself in a relaxed state so that they bypass the conscious mind, drop into the subconscious, and begin to come true in your reality. I began using taped affirmation several years ago. I have now thousands of graduates who use taped affirmation. I'll just tell you this, is that every single goal I have ever put on a musical tape and played to myself over and over again has materialized in my reality. Every single one of them has come true, and some of them in a surprisingly short period of time. This is one of the most astonishing discoveries. Like taped learning is one of the most astonishing discoveries in education. Taped affirmation is one of the most astonishing discoveries in the whole process of goal setting and goal achieving. You can change your personality, achieve goals, increase your income, lose weight, quit smoking. You can do remarkable things with your life, and you can do it rapidly and permanently using this method. Now, here's some of the keys to taped affirmation that you should understand. Number one is a form of progressive relaxation with music. Progressive relaxation is a method of going through the body with words and relaxing each muscle group. So when you play the tape, you will hear a voice that will count you down and be more and more relaxed, and each part of your body relaxes deeper and deeper and deeper, and you get more and more and more deeply relaxed. You'll find that all the tension is let out of your whole body. And as your body completely relaxes, you'll find your conscious mind relaxes and you drop into alpha. Now, a second is that this is a form of what is called heterogenic conditioning. Now, heterogenic conditioning means hetero means other, and genic means mind. So in this, we use the word you. It's a conditioning process so that when you listen to the tape, it always says you. You like yourself very much. You really like yourself. Or you accept complete responsibility for your life. It uses affirmations that are very simple and clear, positive, present tense, but they in the you case. Why? It's because whenever we listen to another voice, even if you make your own tape with your own voice, you always use you. Whenever we take in information from another voice, we are accustomed from infancy to our parents or someone else saying you. Now, there are some people who say that you're supposed to put on the tape the words I earn, or I weigh, or I like myself. But whenever we listen to somebody else talking about themselves, it makes no impression on our subconscious. So when you make a tape that you listen to, it's always you taking the message in. When you speak to yourself, it's always I. I am, I can, I do. Our third point is that this is healthy, this is relaxing, and this is refreshing. You will find that if you play this tape, which is about 20 minutes, and we're going to give you this tape in a little while, if you play this tape, when you come home in the evening, if you play it in the middle of the day, it's better than a nap. It's better than taking a sleep. It's better than a steam bath because it will relax you, it will refresh you, and you'll feel healthy. And even if it does nothing else, it makes you feel great. Now, a third or fourth requirement is that you do it twice daily. Optimum is to do it twice daily, morning and evening. And do it on an empty stomach. The very best time to play this tape is in the morning before you have breakfast, and the evening after you come home but before you have dinner. If you can only do it once a day, do it in the evening. It's better than a drink, it's better than a Valium, it's better than a Librium. It will refresh you, pick you up, smooth your personality, make you feel just great about yourself. So do it twice daily. Number 5 is that we use relaxing, gentle music. Now you can use almost any music you like. The slower, the more relaxing, the more classical music that you use. You can use Baroque, you can use the sound of the ocean, you can use gentle classical music from any piece that you like, but relaxing, gentle music in the background is what causes the mind to relax and relax and relax. You can use flute music, you can use guitar, you can use violin, you can use anything that is relaxing to cause you to calm and settle down, but not music or anything that has words to it. Now, another characteristic of this is that the position that you use, we call this assuming the position, is to sit erect, relaxed, eyes closed. We call this assuming the position. And basically the position is you sit in a chair, you sit completely erect, you put your hands on your lap, not touching, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just listen to the tape. The tape is complete. All you have to do is put it on, and it will count you down into a state of deep relaxation, very much like this, into a state of deep relaxation. While you're in that state of relaxation, it will play a series of 10 affirmations, 5 each. And at the end of the 10 affirmations, it will then count you back out to a state of full awareness. The entire process takes 21 minutes, maximum. It's very simple. It's completely harmless. You don't have to worry about it. Now, it's very important with regard to this position that you be sitting erect. Some people say, well, can I do it before I go to sleep? But what happens if you try to do it in bed or laying down is one of two things. Either you'll fall asleep, and when you fall asleep, the message stops going into the subconscious mind, or number 2 is you will become so relaxed and refreshed that you'll wake up and you'll be unable to sleep. The best time to do this is not before you go to bed, unless, of course, you're having difficulty sleeping. We've had many people who've been going through stressful periods in their life who have found that by playing this, sometimes 5, 6, 7 times a day, they've been able to completely calm down, get over their insomnia, and sleep deeply for the first time. So number 7 is do it with no interruptions. Go somewhere where you can play it where there's no interruptions. If you're near a telephone, disconnect the phone or go away from the phone. There's nothing worse than playing this tape and having a telephone go off in the middle or having somebody walk in on you. Sometimes people say, well, can I play it in my car? I say, yes, you can play it in your car as long as you drive your car with your eyes closed. People say, well, can I do it when I'm jogging? Yes, if you jog with your eyes closed. Because if your eyes are open, this is critical, if your eyes are open, your eyes are bombarded with so much stimulation that you do not drop into alpha. So it's important to remember that. Remember, no interruptions. Do it twice a day. Do it on an empty stomach. Don't do it after drinking anything. Don't do it after eating anything. And don't do it after smoking anything stronger than a cigarette. Now, what will happen as a result of this? This process takes just 2 things. It takes discipline, which is what most people lack, which is why most people fail, and it takes repetition. It's very simple. Repetition. What will happen? Well, the first time that you use this, you will notice a deep relaxation. As a matter of fact, many people have said they've relaxed more deeply with this tape than with any other process they've ever tried. And these are people who've tried meditation and tried a lot of other things. Second of all, you will find that in a very short period of time, about 2 or 3 days, you will find yourself feeling far calmer. You feel far more relaxed. You feel sort of good about yourself. And you find that your flashpoint, your levels of tension have dropped. Within a week, the people around you will know the difference. They'll say, you're doing something different. Within a month, people who only know you marginally will notice that there's a difference in your personality. A good friend of mine who's a psychologist pointed out to me that the way that he first noticed the effect of this tape was that he used to get very, very tense in traffic. He'd be driving along in traffic and somebody would cut him off, or he'd be stuck in traffic, get very, very angry. And what he would do is, he found when he played the tape, is that he didn't get tense anymore. He would just relax and found that he might get angry, but he would be only angry for a few seconds, and he'd be calm again. So it's very, very healthy. By the way, you cannot play this tape and be a stressful type of person. Now, how many goals can you work on? Well, you make your own tape, and you can work on 10 to 15 goals on your tape. When you write out the goals, what you do is you repeat at the beginning of each goal, which is a positive present tense affirmation, you repeat, yes, I agree, or yes, that's true. What this does is it reinforces the affirmation and drives it deeper into the subconscious. For instance, you're listening to the tape, you close your eyes, the tape says, you like yourself unconditionally, you really like yourself, and you say, yes, that's true. Yes, I agree. So when you say that to your mind, you're acknowledging to your subconscious that this is a true statement. Remember, in affirmations, the most powerful effect on your subconscious is what you say to yourself and believe. If a person were to say to you, you sure look good today, and you say, yes, I do. Notice how much better you would feel about that than if you say, no, I don't. I look a little bit ragged. So always agree and accept it. Repeat it. The number 11 important point on this is to do it over and over again until it becomes a habit. Put your own affirmations. Take your own affirmations with regard to your goals. For instance, if you want to lose weight, put your ideal weight on there. If you want to increase your income, put your ideal income on there. If you want to change your temperament, put your temperament. If you want to be a better time manager, put better time management. If you want to be more creative, then put creativity on there. Do you want to have more energy? Then put energy on there. Do you want to sleep at night? Then put sleep at night on there. Anything that you desire in life, you can accomplish using this method and using the instructions that we've given you. If you want to make your own tape, it's very simple. Pick a piece of relaxing music, play it on your record player, put a cassette on a separate cassette recorder, and with the music in the background, read the script onto the cassette program, and then read your own affirmations and repeat each of them 5 times. If you'll do that and then read the whole script, then you have your own tape, and as you achieve your goals, what you can do is make a new tape and make a 2 tape. The tape that we supply you with this program is good enough to last you for a long time because it's been developed over years of experimenting with other people, and we find that the 10 goals on this tape are the 10 most important. If you use this method of taped affirmation in a very short period of time, you'll notice changes in your life, changes in your results, changes in your health, changes in your temperament, changes in your personality. And I will repeat what I said before, I have never set a goal on taped affirmation that I have not accomplished exactly at the right time, exactly in the right way, and it will work for you as it has worked for me. Good luck.
Brian Tracy presenta el programa Fénix. La psicología del logro.
Session 15, 5 keys to goal setting. We started this seminar asking the question, why is it that some people are more successful than others? And a friend of mine who's been working in this industry for many years told me a story that I think you'll enjoy and which I found very relevant. He said that he invited, as the deacon of his church, he invited a Jewish gentleman to come to his church, a Christian church, and speak to the congregation on comparative religion, how the Jewish religion compared with the Christian religion. Well, the Jewish gentleman came after several weeks, and he stood up, and he began his talk. And he said, ladies and gentlemen, he said, I've examined your books, and I've examined our books. He said, I've examined your basic teachings, and I've examined our basic teachings, and I've come to this conclusion. He said, the Bible and the Talmud and all of our books say that the 2 great rules of life are to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. He said, ladies and gentlemen, all else is commentary. All else is commentary. He said, we've been working in the field of success for 25 years, and we sat down around the table not too long ago, and we said, what is success? What are the determinants of success? And the unanimous conclusion was simply this. Ladies and gentlemen, success is goals, and all else is commentary. Success is goals, and all else is commentary. And I don't think there's anything that you'll ever learn that is truer than that. During the course of this seminar, we've talked about many different laws, the law of attraction, law of correspondence, law of belief, expectation, and so on. But you find that the only way to utilize all of those laws, or the easiest way to utilize all of those laws, is just to simply set a goal. When you set a goal, what do you believe in? A goal. What do you expect to happen? A goal. What do you attract into your life? People and circumstances in harmony with your goal. What does the law of correspondence affect? Your outer world will harmonize with your inner world with your goal. What do you concentrate on? Your goal. What do you plant in your subconscious? Your goal. What do you use for the law of substitution? A goal. A goal makes it possible for you to bring to bear all the laws of the universe to help to make you successful without even thinking about any of the laws. That's why in every single study of successful men and women, you find intense goal orientation. And yet even knowing that success is dependent upon goals, crucially dependent upon goals, we find that less than 5% of the population have goals at all. I once wrote a paper or an article for a newspaper, and the quote they pulled out of the newspaper was, "Those who do not have goals are condemned forever to work for those who do." If you don't have goals for your life, you are condemned forever to help other people achieve their goals. In fact, in 1953, one of the famous studies, in 1953 at Yale University, they did a survey amongst the graduating class of seniors, and they asked them, amongst other questions, do you have goals and have you made plans for their accomplishment? They found that only 3% of the graduating seniors of one of the most favored classes that ever graduated from an Ivy League college in America had goals. Well, they went back in 1973, 20 years later, and they asked them, amongst other things, how much money are you worth today versus how much you were worth in 1953? And they found that the 3% who had set goals at the beginning of their careers were worth more in financial terms than the entire other 97% put together. Now, this is a phenomenal accomplishment, but it is not unusual. As a matter of fact, every statistic that I've looked at in studying goal setting, and I have been a fanatic on the subject of goal setting for years, shows that only 3%, 1 in 30, has clear, specific, written goals with action plans for their accomplishment. Now, let me say this, is that the ability to set goals and the ability to make action plans for their accomplishment is the master skill of success. It is the master skill. It is the most important single skill that you can ever learn. And through the course of what we're going to talk about now, if you can learn to set and accomplish one major goal, it can be the most important thing that you ever discover. More important than math, more important than science, more important than computer technology, more important than sales skills is the ability to set goals. Because once you have set goals, you trigger into force what is called the cybernetic goal-seeking mechanism of the brain. The cybernetic goal-seeking mechanism is this mechanism that once you've programmed the brain or impressed the brain into your subconscious, you tend to move automatically and unerringly toward the goal, and the goal tends to move toward you. It's almost as if you've set into motion a whole series of cosmic forces that cause you to move unerringly even though you do not know where the goal is. And we'll talk about that and why that works a little bit later. It is to say that within you is a mechanism that will lead you unerringly toward what you want to accomplish as long as you know what it is. The great H.L. Hunt, the oil billionaire, was asked his secrets of success on a television program some years ago, and he said there's only 2 things you need to know to be successful. He said, number 1, he said, decide exactly what you want. He said, number 2, determine the price you're going to have to pay, and then resolve to pay that price. But the big problem is that most people don't know what they want. In our civilization, in our society, you can have anything that you want in life, but 95% of the population has either a vague idea of what they want or no idea at all. And by the time this session is over, I'm sure that will be changed a little bit for you. Setting goals is the master skill of success. I think that goal setting should be taught in kindergarten and first grade and second grade, right up to every single year of school. There should be some module and some process of teaching young people to set goals. It would guarantee greater success, faster and easier in life than any other single skill that a person can develop. No matter how old you are, no matter where you are today, the sooner you learn to develop the master skill of success by practice and repetition over and over again until you become completely focused as a goal-achieving human being, the sooner you learn it, the faster you will accomplish great things in your life. Now, an interesting point. Each of us has what we call a failure mechanism in life. The failure mechanism goes off automatically. The vast majority of people fail to live up to their potential. They fail to become everything they're capable of becoming, over 80%. And the failure mechanism is what we call the comfort zone. It's the tendency to fall into a comfort zone, to do what is easy, not to avoid making the efforts necessary to succeed. Now, this failure mechanism goes off automatically. From the time we are infants, we talked earlier about the pleasure principle. We always move toward what is pleasurable, what is easy, what is fun, what is enjoyable, and we move away from what is uncomfortable, what is difficult, what requires discipline, what requires effort, and so on. However, the only way to override this failure mechanism is by activating your success mechanism. And your success mechanism is triggered by a goal. Whenever you write out a goal, you override the failure mechanism. Whenever you think about a goal, you override the failure mechanism. You see, when you set a goal, it releases positive energy. It builds up drive and desire. It gives you persistence. It gives you clarity of thought. It gives you intensity of purpose. And it moves you forward towards your objective. The only way you can break out of the comfort zone is by setting goals that are progressively higher than anything that you've accomplished. And all leaders in every study that I've looked at in the last few years make a habit, a conscious habit of not getting stuck in a comfort zone. They're always aware. Natural tendency is to slide, to take it easy. So they're always setting goals that are just a little bit higher than they've ever accomplished before. They're always striving, always reaching out beyond anything they've done before. And that's what keeps them growing, that keeps them alive, it keeps them alert, it keeps them bright, and it keeps them successful. Now, we know, by the way, that achieving goals is automatic. You have this cybernetic mechanism that once you've programmed a goal into your mind, you go off toward it automatically. The problem is not in achieving goals. As human beings, you are a goal-achieving organism. The only time you're happy is when you have a goal. The only time that you are fully alive is when you're working towards something that's really important to you. You need that sense of meaning and purpose, that sense of direction, that sense of significance in your life. The question is not why is it that people don't achieve goals, because achieving goals is automatic. The question is why is it that people don't set goals? Now, I've heard for years before I began working in this subject, you're supposed to set goals, you're supposed to set goals. And yet I talk to people who've read the books and taken the course, and I say, do you have written goals? They don't have any written goals. So I began to look into the psychology of goal setting, and I found that there are 4 major reasons why people don't set goals. Even though they know they should, they know they're important, they've been told over and over again, 4 major reasons. And until you understand these 4 reasons and how they work on you unconsciously, we can't go on to the next step. So let's talk about it. Why don't people set goals? Number 1 reason why people don't set goals is they don't realize the importance of goals. They don't realize the importance of goals. Now, what does this mean? Well, it means that you and I are the products of our upbringing. You and I are the products of our parental influences, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our family, and so on. If you grew up in a home where your parents did not emphasize goals, did not talk about goals, did not encourage you to set goals at an early age, you know what happens? Is that you can grow up and you can become an adult and you cannot even be aware that there's such a thing as goals out there. In the studies on who gets ahead in America, they found an interesting thing. They found that the conversation around the family dinner table is a major determinant of the character of the children who grow and come out of that home. That if the conversation around the dinner table is achievement-oriented, success-oriented, goal-oriented, then young people will grow up believing and working toward goals as naturally as they eat with a knife and fork or wash their hands after dinner. So, people don't realize the importance of goal setting. Please understand that goal setting is critical. It is the vital skill of success. And the kindest thing that a person could ever do for their children is to help them set worthwhile and realistic goals from an early age and then give them all the encouragement possible to accomplish those goals. Second reason why people don't set goals, see if this applies to you, is they don't know how. Surprisingly enough, and when I started studying this subject, I found that everybody said to set goals. Very important to set goals. Got to set goals, got to have goals, got to put a timeline on goals. But the fact is that there were no really good goal-setting methodologies. And in this course, I'm going to teach you a goal-setting methodology that is absolute dynamite, considered one of the best goal-setting methodologies that anybody's ever seen. But if you don't know how to set goals, I can tell you how to set goals, to tell you to set goals all day, and it wouldn't do you any good. You can go through 12 to 15 years of school in our society and never get 1 hour on goal setting. Imagine 12 to 15 years. I've taken a postgraduate degree in business from a major university, and never once did they spend 1 hour talking about how to set and achieve goals. Never once did they discuss the master skill of success. Well, after this course, you're going to know how to set goals. So that won't be a problem. Now, the third reason why people don't set goals, and this is in order of increasing importance, is fear of rejection. The fear of rejection, as we talked about before. One of the most profound and powerful fears in our life is the fear of being criticized or ridiculed by other people. And every one of us, as children, when we were young, we said, I want to do this, I want to be a fireman, I want to go here, I want to go there. And we had somebody say, that's stupid, or you can't accomplish that, or don't be silly, or you're too small, and so on. And what we learned at a very early age is that if we talked about a goal or something that we wanted that was bigger than we were, the most important people in our lives would ridicule us and would criticize us and make us feel bad and small. So unconsciously we made a decision, if you want to get along, you've got to go along, so we don't talk about our goals. That way nobody criticizes us. Now as adults we fall into the trap, an unconscious habit, we fall into the trap of not setting goals at all. And not talking about goals and not thinking about goals, then nobody can criticize you. And I will tell you this, that 80-90% of the people around you, if you decide you're going to do anything from finding a new parking spot to finding a new job or a new marriage, they will tell you that it can't be done. They'll tell you all the reasons, and they'll line them up, and they'll try to discourage you from doing anything different than you're doing. So here's the key. Keep your goals confidential. Keep goals confidential. Don't discuss your goals with anybody, except that the great majority of people are threatened by anybody who has a goal. They're worried. It makes them feel inferior and inadequate because they don't have goals of their own. So only discuss your goals with people who also have goals of their own. Discuss them with the people close to you whose help you need to accomplish them. But just don't discuss your goals with people at random, and don't give them a chance to shoot the goals down. Now, the fourth reason why people don't set goals. This is the top of the list. This is the worst of all. It's our old friend, our old enemy, if you like, fear of failure. The fear of failure is the number one reason why people fail in adult life. The fear of failure, the fear that I can't. I might lose my money. I might lose my time. I might lose my investment. I can't. It causes us to become tense and stressed. It causes our heart to pound and our stomach to churn. This fear of failure is the number one reason why people underachieve and fail in life. It's because the fear of failure holds them back from ever trying. And the reason why people fear failure is they don't understand failure. They don't understand this critical point. If you can understand this point, it can turn your whole attitude around. It's simply this, is that it's impossible to succeed without failing. That failure is an indispensable part of success. Failure is essential to success. That if you avoid failing, you cannot succeed. That every single great success in human history has been a failure up until the moment of their success. That the key to success is to fail and fail in a forward direction, is to continue to learn from everything that goes wrong. To every setback, every obstacle, every disappointment, step back and say, what can I learn from this situation? Use the law of substitution and derive a valuable lesson from every single failure. Remember we talked about the becoming an inverse paranoid, confident expectations? Every time something goes wrong, look into it and say, now, I wonder why this is happening to help me. And you'll find that in every single setback or disadvantage, as Napoleon Hill said in his book, there's a valuable lesson, an opportunity, or a benefit that you can find if you look for it. That successful people, leaders, are people who never use the word failure. They never think of the word failure. Thomas J. Watson, the founder of IBM, was once asked by a young man, he said, Mr. Watson, what can I do to be more successful? And Watson said without hesitating, he said, double your failure rate. Double your failure rate. Why? It's because, let me put this down. It's because if you look at the life stories of successful men and women, if you look at the life story of a person like Thomas Edison, one of the greatest failures in history. Thomas Edison, in the course of his lifetime, patented 1,052 devices at the U.S. Patent Office. Over 1,000 of those devices were actually turned into commercial products that made enormous amounts of money. Watson, or Edison, was also the greatest failure in the history of invention. He failed 17,000 times to come up with a plant that from which natural latex could be drawn. He failed thousands of times in other experiments. He failed over 11,000 times in his attempt to come up with a filament for the electric light bulb. After he had failed 5,000 times, and it was in the newspaper, it was called Edison's Folly, this attempt to somehow light the world with an incandescent light bulb. Everybody knew people were supposed to light their way through the world with a kerosene lantern. A reporter came to him, young reporter, said, Mr. Edison, why do you persist in spending all of this time and money after you failed 5,000 times? And Edison said, young man, he said, you don't understand how the world works. He said, I haven't failed at all. He said, I've just successfully discovered 5,000 ways that will not work. He said, that puts me just 5,000 ways closer to the way that will work. It was over 11,000 experiments before he found the tungsten or the carbon impregnated filament that lit the first electric light bulb and changed the world. Colonel Sanders went to over 1,000 restaurants. A 66-year-old man went to over 1,000 restaurants to try to sell his recipe initially before he found one restaurant that would pay him a 5-cent a chicken royalty. But he kept on. Would you keep on after 100, 200, 500, 1,000 people had told you no? Sanders did, and became one of the richest and most well-known and most respected men in America. So you have to understand that success and failure go hand in hand, that wherever there is a possibility for success, there's also the possibility for failure. There is nothing wrong with failing as long as you learn from every lesson. And remember, if you have a certain number of failures that you have to go through in order to learn the lessons and gain the experience in order to achieve your great success, the sooner you do it, the faster you get on with it, the more mistakes you make, the more times you fall on your face and pick yourself up and learn from it, the faster you're going to achieve what you're capable of achieving. All right. This brings us to the second part of goal setting. And these are what I call the 5 keys. Now, these 5 keys are 5 key parts of the process of goal setting for you to keep in mind on a regular basis. The first key part, number 1, is this, is that the scariest thing in human life today is change. We know, however, that change is inevitable, that change is a part of progress, that there's no progress without change, that your life cannot even improve with change. We know that change is scary. And there's a natural tendency, what we call homeostasis. There's a natural tendency for people to resist change, to push it back, to avoid it, to dig in their heels, to get into that comfort zone. And as I've said before, the comfort zone is the greatest single enemy of human potential. Change is scary unless it is goal-directed. Unless it is goal-directed. And this is the key, is that we can overcome this persistent unconscious fear of change by one simple technique. Is by taking control of it. Remember, we said that the law of control is the critical law of human harmony, that you only feel positive about yourself to the degree to which you feel you are in control of your own life. Well, goals allow us to control the direction of change. We know that life never goes on in a straight line for any period of time. Life is either getting better and improving, or life is getting worse and deteriorating. That just happens to be the fact. However, when we set goals, we can control the direction of change. And controlling the direction of change is the key to our success. So that everything that happens in our life is goal-directed. It is towards something that we want. It is toward improvement. It is in the direction of our highest ideals rather than random. See, nobody fears change if it's in the direction of something that they want. The only change that we fear is change that leaves us worse off than we were before. Now, this brings us to our second key concept in goal setting. It's what we call the area of excellence. Now, the area of excellence concept is very simple. What it says is that everybody has talents that rotate around the average. These are average talents. We are better at cooking, worse at math, better at communicating, worse at selling, better at speaking, worse at history, and so on. We all have talents, but it also says that every one of us has talents somewhere that are in the exceptional range. That every single human being has an area of excellence in which they are extremely capable if they can find it. That every single person, we'll talk about this earlier, has genius in some area. And one of the great jobs of adult life is to find your area of excellence and to throw your whole heart and soul into that area of excellence and into becoming very good in the area where you have unique gifts and abilities. For instance, three keys to your area of excellence. Three critical keys. Number one is attention. Attention, the things that hold your attention are a very, very good indicator of where your area of excellence might be. What do you like to read about? What do you like to talk about? What do you like to think about? What do you like to study? What do you like to learn more about? Also, interest. What are you interested in? What has held you or been a fascinating subject for you throughout your life? Sometimes we are programmed internally to be interested and drawn towards things that are the very best for us. And finally, absorption. What could you become totally absorbed in? What absorbs your attention completely? When you're working at it, when you're thinking about it, when you're reading about it, it absorbs your attention completely. Attention, interest, and absorption are the three keys to finding your area of excellence. And one of the most important responsibilities of adult life is to find your area of excellence. Because until you do that and commit yourself to it, you will never achieve your full potential. And everybody has an area of excellence. Now, the next key, number 3, area of excellence is number 2. Next key is what we call the acres of diamonds. And the acres of diamonds theory comes from a story about an old farmer who went off seeking diamonds in Africa, sold his farm, wrapped up everything, went off seeking diamonds, ran out of money, finally died, poor, impoverished, and alone. And meanwhile, back on his farm, the new owner went out and discovered some of the biggest diamonds in history. The Acres of Diamonds philosophy says that under your own feet, right now, in almost all cases, is everything that you're looking for. Right now, contained within your own talents, your own abilities, your own experience, your own wisdom, your own knowledge, your industry, your family, your contacts, that somewhere right now under your own feet is the opportunity that you're looking for. You don't have to go across the world. You don't have to move to another city. You don't have to change. All you have to do is mine your own acres of diamonds. But the interesting thing is that diamonds don't look like diamonds in their rough form. Diamonds or opportunities always come disguised as hard work. The reason why people are always looking somewhere else is because they don't recognize that your great opportunities always come disguised as hard work, and they take a tremendous amount of work and effort to develop and to realize. So look under your own feet for your acres of diamonds. Look into your own unique talents for your area of excellence. Absolutely critical to goal setting. Now, the fourth is the importance of balance. In life, in order to be truly successful, you must have balanced goals. You can't have just goals that are all money. You can't have goals that are all in any one direction. You need a balance of goals, and here are the three key areas. Number one is you need personal and family goals. Now, your personal and family goals are the goals that, more than anything else, determine the quality of your emotional life, determine how good you feel about yourself and life. And your personal and family goals, you need about 3 to 5. These are the reasons why. These are the why of your life. This is why you're alive in the first place, which is to achieve a life that is significant and important and pleasurable to you. And you must never sacrifice these for anything else. The second set of goals are business and career goals. Now, your business and career goals are the way that you earn the wherewithal. They're the way that you fulfill your potential as a productive member of society. They're the way you make a contribution. These are the what goals. But remember, these are not as important as the why. The natural tendency for us, if we're not careful, is we get so caught up in the what, the business and career goals, that we forget the personal and family, which are the reasons why we started in the first place. And you need 3 to 5 goals in the business and career area. And number 3 is the self-improvement goals. Now, self-improvement goals means that you look upon yourself as a do-it-to-yourself project. It means that you look into yourself as a person who has infinite capacity, but it has to be developed. And you need 3 to 5 self-improvement goals, too. Now, your self-improvement goals are what we call the means. Self-improvement are the means to get the what, which is what you need in order to accomplish your why. One more point, and that's this. And it's point number 5, and that is the need for a major definite purpose. A major definite purpose is the number one goal in life. And every single study that we have looked at, every single study that I've looked at in peak performance, high achievement, and so on, comes back to this very simple equation, this very simple factor, is that your life only begins to become great when you fix upon a major definite purpose. One goal, one mission, one goal that is bigger than any other single goal in your life. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have several goals. You can have 10 to 15 goals going. You can have 200 to 300 if you want. But you have to have one. If somebody were to wake you up in the middle of the night and give you a shake and say, what is your major definite purpose? You should be able to open your eyes and be able to tell them just like that. Your major definite purpose must be measurable. In other words, you can't have a major definite purpose to be happy. I had one woman come up to me and she said her major definite purpose was world peace. And I said, well, your major definite purpose, in order for it to have any meaning for you, in order for it to give purpose and direction to your life, has to be under your own control. It has to be measurable. It has to be specific. It has to be tangible. It has to be something that you can do or have or be. It has to be something that when you've accomplished it, you can look at it and say, here it is, it's achieved. It can't be something nebulous, because setting a big, broad, unbounded goal is a way that we trick ourselves into setting no goals at all. Now, with regard to your major definite purpose and your other goals, 2 points. You can have tangible and intangible goals. In other words, you can have qualitative goals that have to do with the quality of your life, and you can have quantitative goals or tangible goals that have to do with your income, weight loss, bigger car, bigger house, and so on. And you need a balance of those. And finally, you need short-term and long-term goals. Now, your short-term goals, ideally, are about 90 days for maximum motivation. Your long-term goals should be about 2 to 3 years for maximum motivation. And your major definite purpose or your major goals should be 2 to 3 year goals, maybe shorter, maybe longer, broken down into 90-day periods. That having been said, I'm going to give you a brief goal-setting exercise. I'm going to ask you 7 quick questions. I'm going to give you between 30 and 60 seconds to answer these questions. And what I want you to do is write as quickly as you possibly can the very first things that come to your mind. Now, the first question is this. Are you ready? Get out a pencil of paper, clean sheet of paper, goal-setting exercise. Here it is. Question number 1 is, what are your 5 basic values in life? What 5 things do you value most in life? Number 1 question. You have 60 seconds to answer this question. It's counting right now. What things do you value most in life? Your home, your car, your family, your income, your job, your career, your spiritual development, your health, your wealth, your stereo set, your new hubcaps, your intelligence, your intellectual growth. What 5 things do you value most in life? 30 seconds. Write the first 5 things that come to mind. And once you've written the answer to this question, your 5 basic values, organize them in order of priority. What is the first one? What would be number 1 if you had to throw away the other 4? What would be number 2 if you had to throw away the other 3? What would be number 3, and so on? Organize them in order of priority, number 1 through number 5. Right? 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Question number 2 is, write your 3 most important goals in life right now. You have 30 seconds. What's your 3 most important goals in life right now? Counting. 25 seconds left. Write the first 3 goals that pop into your mind. If you can't think of anything else, write money, money, money. Write the first 3 goals that pop into mind, quickly. Okay, 10 seconds. This is an easy question. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Question number 3. You have 1 minute. What would you do? How would you spend your time if you found today that you only had 6 months to live? How would you spend the last 6 months of your life if you only had 6 months to live? Write everything that you do in the last 6 months. Time is counting now. Write it as though everything you put on this list you can do in that last 6 months, but if you don't write it down, you can't do it. How would you spend your time? Who would you spend your time with? Where would you go? What would you do? What would you want to finish up? What would you want to start? Who would you want to see? What phone calls would you make? What bills would you run up on your charge cards? Okay. In other words, what would you do if you had 6 months to live? All right, 10 seconds. Write everything you can think of. Remember, if it's written down, On this sheet in front of you, you can do it. If you forget to write it, you won't be able to do it. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Question number 4. What would you do, how would you change your life if you won $1 million in the lottery tomorrow? If you became an instant millionaire, what would you do differently from what you're doing today? If you became an instant millionaire, what would you do differently? You've got 1 minute to write. Everything that you write, you'll be able to do with that $1 million. If you don't write it down, you won't be able to spend it. The $1 million won't be given to you. Interestingly enough, when most people are asked this question, the average amount that they can spend is about $200,000. They can't get their mind around $1 million. What would you do differently? Good question. Would you continue working at the job you're working at if you won $1 million? If the answer is no, it means you're in the wrong job for you and you are wasting your life. Would you stay in the relationship that you're in? Would you continue spending your time the way you spend it? What would you do if you won $1 million? All right, 5 seconds left. Write down everything you can think of. I had a farmer in one of my courses once. He said he'd just keep on farming until it was all gone. Anyway, number 5. You have to be a farmer to appreciate that. Number 5 is, what have you always wanted to do but been afraid to attempt? You've got 30 seconds. What have you always wanted to do in life but been afraid to attempt? 30 seconds, right? The first thing that pops into mind. Run for public office, give a professional talk, start a new relationship, start your own business. Half the population would like to start their own business. Did you know that? Over half the population. But they don't do it because they're afraid of failure or rejection or something else. 10 seconds left. What have you always wanted to do but been afraid to attempt? This is a very revealing question. Write whatever comes down on the page. All right, question number 6. What sort of activities in life give you your greatest feeling of importance? What sort of activities give you the greatest feeling of pleasure, self-esteem, happiness, joy, and fulfillment? What do you really like to do? Look back over your life and ask yourself, when have you been the happiest? 30 seconds left. 30 seconds to go in this question. When have you been the happiest in life? When have you been the most fulfilled? When have you felt the very best about yourself? When have you had the greatest amount of peace and personal satisfaction? What sort of circumstances? What were you doing at the time? Who were you doing it with? Where were you going? What were your goals? What were the circumstances? And so on. Very, very important question. All right, 5 more seconds. And then here is the key question in determining your major definite purpose is this. Imagine that I could give you a pill that was a magic pill, and if you took this magic pill, you could accomplish any one thing in the whole world. And the question is simply this. What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? All right, 45 seconds. What one great thing, what one goal would you dare to dream if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could not fail? You're absolutely guaranteed of success. What would it be? Five seconds. Now, in almost every case, by the way, the answers to these questions will spring to your lips. Some people, however, have been able to go through this whole exercise and not been able to answer a single question. And there's nothing wrong with that. The whole purpose of this exercise is to help you begin crystallizing your goals and especially your major definite purpose. Let's look at these goals. Let's look at these questions, and I suggest that you take this exercise every single month until you can pop out the answers to every one of these questions and they begin to improve and crystallize. 5 basic values in life. We said that self-esteem is the key to peak performance. Well, self-esteem only comes when your goals and your values fit like a hand in a glove. That the most successful men and women in our society are people who know what they believe, who know what their values are, and they organize their time so that it's consistent with their values. And you'll find that most stress, most unhappiness, most irritability, most health problems, most burnout comes from living a life that is inconsistent with your basic values. So always be asking yourself, what are my values? What do I believe in? And make sure that your outer life is consistent with your inner life. It's the key to peak performance, the key to self-esteem, the key to happiness. Number 2, what are your 3 most important goals in life? Whenever you're given only 30 seconds to answer that question, the 3 goals that the subconscious pops to your mind will almost invariably be the 3 most important concerns or goals that you have right now. This is a very revealing question, and you can give it to yourself and give it to other people. What would you do if you had 6 months to live? If you only have 6 months to live, it refers you back to your basic values. It tells you what you really value in life. And an important question is this, is that how much of your current life is consistent with what you would do if you only had 6 months to live? Would you spend more time with your family? If you would, are you spending more time with your family now? Remember, you never know when you only have 6 months to live. What would you do if you became an instant millionaire? Perfect question. That simply asks you, what would you do if you had all the time and money in the world? What would you do if you had no fear of failure and no fear of rejection? What would you do if you were free to choose? If you had complete freedom to choose, the fact is that anything that you could write down as an answer to question number 4 you can accomplish. You don't need $1 million. All you need to do is set it as a goal and make a plan and start working toward it. You may not get it as fast as if you were a millionaire, but you'll get it nonetheless. Asking the question simply frees your mind. Question number 5, what are you afraid to attempt? That may tell you what the self-limiting belief or block is that's holding you back from achieving your full potential. Question number 6, what gives you your greatest feeling of importance? This is simply asks you what gives you a feeling of self-esteem, and this will lead you unerringly to your area of excellence, because you will always and only become excellence doing what gives you a tremendous feeling of importance. And question number 7, what one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? Let me just say this as we close, that whatever you wrote as an answer to that question, whatever you wrote as an answer to the question, what one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail, you can be, have, or do. The only question is, how badly do you want it, and are you willing to pay the price? Because if you are, and you're willing to pay the price and work toward it, you can accomplish everything on that list, and sometimes far faster than you can possibly imagine. The question is, how badly do you want it? Session 16, 12 Steps to Goal Achieving. One of the wisest men I ever met gave me a success secret some years ago that made a real impression on me, and it was simply this. He said one of the most important things he found in 50 years of research was the need to use proven success methods. He said, your life is too short to try to reinvent the wheel or to learn it all by yourself. So the smartest thing that you can do is what is called creative imitation, which is to go out and find what other people have done that works and do what they do until you get it to the point where you really know it well and then improve upon it. What I want to tell you about in this session is a proven success method. It's a 12-step method for goal setting and goal achieving, which I've taught to over 100,000 people. I've had many men and women come back to me and say they've accomplished more in a month with this program than they have in a year without it. I've had people who've accomplished more than 2 or 3 years than they'd accomplished in 10 or 20 years using this very simple methodology. It is a proven success method. I urge you to try it. I urge you to use it, incorporate it into your life, use it as an automatic process, and whenever you start thinking about your direction, your meaning, your purpose, where you want to go, sit down and work it through these 12 steps until it becomes automatic. Remember, the ability to set goals and to make plans for their accomplishment is the master skill of success, which can only be learned through practice and repetition over and over and over again. Now let's go to the board and let's talk about these 12 steps. Step number 1, starting point of all success. And by the way, let me step back just for 1 second. We talked a little bit earlier about the importance of the major definite purpose, your major definite purpose, the major goal, the number 1 goal in your life. And many people come to me and write to me and phone me and they say, how do I pick my major definite purpose? And the only solution I can give you is go through the 7-step goal-setting exercise, which we did in the previous session, and also, if you can't come up with it then, make it your major definite purpose to find your major definite purpose. Dwell upon your major definite purpose. Ask yourself, what could it be? What should it be? What will it be? What ought it to be? And keep running this over and over in your mind. Seek information, look, discover, and you will find that with the inexorability of a law of nature, that your major definite purpose will come to you, and it'll be so clear, so obvious, so right, and it will happen in exactly the right time. We'll discuss that when we talk about the superconscious mind a little bit later. But for now, if you don't have a major definite purpose, make finding your major definite purpose your major definite purpose. And when you do find it, run it through this exercise the same way you would run something through a computer to get an answer out the bottom. Step number 1 in goal setting is desire. And the more intense the desire, the more burning the desire, the more you want something, the more likely it is that you'll accomplish it. As a matter of fact, it's been said over and over again that burning desire is the starting point of all great accomplishment. Why is that so important? Well, burning desire is the desire that drives you ahead over all the difficulties, disappointments, temporary failures, obstacles, because if your goal is worthy of you, you're going to fall on your face over and over and over again. You're going to make mistakes. It's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you anxiety. As a matter of fact, if you're not laying in bed at night staring at the ceiling with your heart pounding at least 3 nights a week, you're probably not trying hard enough. So, burning desire is the starting point of all great goal attainment. Now, burning desire is always personal. Always personal. Which means when it comes to setting goals, whatever the goal is, it has to be your. You cannot want a goal for someone else, and someone else cannot want a goal for you. When we talk about desire, make it first. Somebody says, I want to get a raise at my job. That's my goal. That's setting a desire for your boss. I had a young man say to me, I want to marry this particular girl. That's setting a goal for the girl. Only you can set goals for yourself, but be very certain that the goals that you do set are yours. That the goals that you do set are ones that turn you on, not goals that somebody else wants for you, or goals that you think you should do, or you ought to do, or they'd be good for you to do. Think through yourself and be perfectly honest. Be perfectly honest. Ask yourself, what is it that you want? Now, interestingly enough, it takes tremendous courage to be perfectly honest and perfectly selfish in goal setting. But if you are not perfectly honest at this stage and asking yourself what you really want, what is it deep in your heart you really want to be, have, or do, if you're not honest at this stage, the whole rest of the process falls apart. If you are honest at this stage, it's like a rocket launch. You can go there. Step number 2 is belief. Remember we said before that your external world will always be a representation of your internal world, and that your internal world is made up of your beliefs, your convictions, if you like. Another word is faith. It's what you believe or what you have faith in deep down inside. There's a great talk by Reverend Ike where he talks about fascination, and he says that what you are fascinated by becomes your reality because you are drawn toward it and it is drawn toward you. What you believe in, what you have faith in, what interests you, what draws you, what fascinates you is critical. And another word is conviction. You have to believe that it is possible for you to accomplish the goal. You have to believe that it is possible for you to achieve it. For that reason, it's very important that you make your goal believable. Many people, when they learn these new ideas about goal setting, they make a mistake. They think, wow, I'm going to make a mistake.
Resurgence. Survive and your team can redeploy. Eliminate targets to bring them back faster. Enemy dropping into the AR.
Good. Ah, boy. The sniper crossed me, dog. Ugh.
Esse bicho aqui não é gay. Esse bicho aqui, mano. Dia da namorada do Ian. É um outro preço. Diz que esse cara aqui me chamou pra ir ficar com esse lardiçoado, ele e mais outro. Aí ele falou, não, joga teu preço também. Eu sei, cara, eu tipo, eu não gosto dessa porra não. Eu te falando. Mas esperto esse. Se tivesse uma fêmea no meio, eu não ia colocar o teu pipi no meu cocô. Aquele meio, mano, que eu fico aquele meio que deu fumo, é 700. Agora comida vai ser boa. Caralho, não, é 3 é 3. Falou, quando eu tô 3 é 3. 3 que gostou. 2 é 2 tá. Então, ou seja. Não, mas é por mês, né? Daí pra comer de novo tem que ser no outro mês, né? Duas vezes então, né? Pra não passar de um mês, comer 3 vezes, um mês, é 2 vezes, para renovar o mês, né? Aí é na esportiva, eu levo muito na esportiva. Eu tô sentindo uma conta toda. Na laranjinha, hein? Abre uma conta pra ti na laranjinha no OnlyFans. Foda, tô aí pelo todo. Ai, caralho. Passei o negócio aqui do canal de velho pra passar o olho, olha. Passei esse negócio aqui do jato pra passar no olho.
Operator establishing score strike.
I want a ball.
my friend. Se jogar ataque aéreo aqui. Pegou. Aqui na rua, né?
Inverting arc.
Ativa de muito louco. Eu também eu vi que o cara tá jogando com os caras, né?
Give me your money, give me your money, give me your money. Hey, you, give me your money.
Inverting arc.
Aí falou que, mano, toda vez que chega o chat,
a la
sempre
verga,
tem
money.
um cara que tu vai ter
Hey, my friend, give me money
5
now.
segundos assim pra te, sabe, vai prever o cara.
Never mind, I don't need your money.
Tomou um mini. Help me, help me.
Contract failed. Stand down. Your squad mate's back on station. Good work. You're back on station. Go get off. Find cover.
O cara correu de cadê o amarelinho? E o Poke Yellow? E o Poke Yellow?
Dude, how the hell is this guy diamond?
Back in
You're
business.
getting another chance.
Hey, Salina.
Squad mate is redeployed. Well done.
Hey, motherfucker, how are you diamond?
Entendo. Not speaking English. Oh yeah, not speak English.
9 left. We've got 10 squads active in the field.
MTO Kilo, FFE, 16 rounds.
Stand to you, soldier. Stay sharp. You have reinforcements inbound.
No kills, EOM.
Your squad mate is redeploying. Well done. Objective simple. Eliminate all bounty targets.
Reaper requesting LVBR.
You have reinforcements inbound.
Tá com primeiro aqui, segundo ponto.
Your squad made it to the safe zone. Gas is inbound. Survive until your squad can redeploy.
Yo, is the other loading too?
Squad mates back on station. Good work.
Yeah, push the other loadie.
You have reinforcements inbound.
Bro, this loadie's not good either. My bounty's good.
I'm good.
Squad mates back on station. Good work. Mark remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down.
Olha só. Brincadeira com menos 6.
LDVR awaiting targeting data.
Your squad mate is redeploying. Well done. Get ready. Resurgence window is about to close. Your squad's in the safe zone.
Nigga, you supposed to wait till they come inside, then shoot at them, bro. So they would not know where to run. Hey, I don't know where I'm getting shot at, bro. Touch me before I die, touch me! What the fuck? Where I get shot at, bro? Nigga got some eyes, bro. Wait, what?
Dude, Salina, how you dying on a 0-2? It's not old as hell, bro. Get off this game, bro.
Sound good as hell, bro. Get up this game. Shut up, nigga.
This winter suck.
They wanted to later on, baby, mate. Huh? No, they wanted to later on, you see?
We're headed to the war zone. Get geared up. Stand by.
Huh?
Changing mags.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right then. Yeah. All right then. I'm it. All right.
Mero.
That is of no concern to me.
Ah, el mero, güey. Ahora el gringo, bro.
Baby. All stations, green light. We're deploying to the water. Resurgence. Survive to redeploy fallen teammates. Kill to bring them back faster.
That's over.
Inserting armor.
Two. There's two. There's another one on the inside, There's another one on the inside, bro.
Zone 1.
Changing last mag. Inserting armor.
Here.
Cracked. She's white, bro. Easy to death. She's plating up.
Puta mierda.
Go get your revenge. An enemy squad is tracking your location. Walk to the safe zone. There's no one behind.
Oh, we got loaded money.
Marking target. Need some cash.
Enemy, enemy.
Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad. Get hunting.
Last mag. Need some cash. Need some cash.
No dinner, bro.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Fuck.
Secure the supply boxes. Locations are marked on your tag map.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm hurt. Bad.
Man, these niggas seriously left me, bro. Alright then. That's the type of party y'all on today.
Getting another chance. Weapons free. You're clear. Enemy hunters were eliminated.
Blue, can you buy a loader, please?
Fine. Still have squad mates outside the safe zone.
I need you to buy a loader, bro. I need you to buy a loader.
Supply cache locations are offline. Contract compromised. It's all on you. Stay alive so your squad can redeploy.
Inserting armor.
No, Eric, no. No, Eric, no. No, Lyric, no, 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 no.
Your squad mate is redeploying. Well done.
Spanish, bro, Spanish, no English. Le hablo trabado, pues.
See you, man. See.
Ah, mierda. ¿Dónde están? ¿Dónde están? ¿Dónde están?
Target down. Marking the rest. Resurgence window is ending. Watch your six. Knowledge squad is outside the safe zone.
Dave. Puedes estar aquí, te doy un arma.
No, bro, no sé dónde caer, no.
Allí hubieras caído aquí conmigo. Aparte no tienes G.
Question close there. Target marked.
Este mierda la hace.
Requesting buyback. Ready to redeploy.
Güey. Aguántala,
No hay
güey.
problema, bro, pero no tengo plata. No, qué mierda. Yo pensé que tenía inyección.
Ah, chinga, ¿por qué reviví?
No, bro. Ya todo tiene.
Qué puta mierda.
Ah.
Ahora baja ping, baja ping. Sí. No me hagas esto.
Check weapons and gear. We're holding for deployment.
Changing mag.
Bonito, bonito, bonito.
Resurgent. Stay alive to keep the squad in flight.
Una bala, una bala.
Go get your revenge.
Dale para acá, bonito, dale para acá, a ver si compramos el loro aquí, detrás. Muy bien, sí.
Supply box is located.
LDBR Salvo ready for launch.
Dale para acá, bonito, dale para acá, dale para acá.
Voy para allá, espera.
Tenemos.
Marking weapon.
Loadout drop headed your way.
Takes more than that to finish me.
Get to the safe zone. You're losing ground. Move it.
Marking LDBR.
Lo comprobaba.
We lost the supply cache location. Contract pulled.
Money.
You're in the top 10. Keep knocking them down.
Más money, dame la puerta.
Lots of points containing enemy intel nearby. Capture it for information on the next gas spread. An enemy squad is hunting you. Stay sharp.
Taken requesting UAV tasking.
Help your squad mates secure the intel. If you join them, you'll speed up capture.
Takes more than that to finish me.
Well done, soldier. Check your map for the next gas spread location.
Ya hay liquidación, cabrón.
Your squad mate is marked as a most wanted target. Kill enemies and secure supply caches to help remove the bounty on their head.
Vamos para liquidación aquí.
I'm hit. Someone back me up. That's that.
Got gas moving in. Take it out. You're in the clear. Stand by for redeployment.
Ya no, tumbado uno.
Oh my goodness.
Corre.
Most wanted contract failed.
Back.
Station. Go get after it.
Setting rally point. Got a contract here.
You have reinforcements inbound. You've been marked.
I go.
Kill enemies and secure supply caches to close
yeah.
the contract on your head.
Alright then, I did fucking. That's why I told the party so you can know when I leave, you see. Whatever you want to do though.
I'm hit.
Yeah.
Inserting additional armor.
Resurgence is about to end.
Inserting additional armor.
We've located the rest of them.
Nada nele, viado.
Vamos para acá para comprobar.
Safe zone. Gas is closing in.
Pasa uno para acá que me dé el dinero.
Taking requesting UAV tasking.
No, gracias. Vamos a disparar los dos.
Resurgence has been deactivated. This is the end.
Queda aquí ya, Brayita, queda aquí.
Squad mates back on station. Achieve the objective.
LDBR awaiting targeting data.
Ustedes matan, tenían el oro.
Yeah.
UAV is bingo fuel. Returning to base.
Be advised, you still have squad mates outside the safe zone. You're the target of a most wanted contract. Eliminate threats and secure supply chains. Good match to the top right. Five squads still operational with the AO.
Hay uno ahí. Vamos a comprar UAV.
Target area marked. Cleared hot.
Copy that. Longbow 3-1 is on station. Strike inbound.
Ah, no puede ser.
Hostile armor broken.
You're in the top three. Don't let up now.
Not done
Three
yet.
squads left in the war zone. Stay alert.
Vamos a comprobar abajo.
Dame dinero.
Your squad made it to the safe zone. You've got gas moving in.
Requesting UAV on station.
Found some cash.
Están fuera de zona. Aquí para el campo, de aquí para el campo. Bonito. Ya uno.
You're being tracked by an enemy squad. They will survive.
Switching mags.
¿Qué atrás, bonito? ¿Qué atrás?
Deploying squad street.
Contract failed. Objective secure. Well done. Gas. You're in the last two. Now finish this.
Ahí, Brayito, está ahí.
Priority tasking request received. Wind up.
Diablo, pero dime. Colado, loco. Tú me tienes que decir que estaba por ahí.
¿Cuál colado te voy a dar?
More than that to finish me.
Tú me tenías que decir que estaba mamá huevo ahí. ¿Qué pues yo volteé a me disparar? Cuarto, ahora los cuartos. Give me money.
No, está aquí el mamabillo.
O sea, un maldito manco, loco. ¿Por qué ese tipo de manco? Mira cómo se lució.
That's the last nigga, bro, and they let him buy back, dog. Oh, it wasn't locked in.
it's time for some target practice. The real thing's coming soon. Prep time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone.
Stick together.
Eliminate targets to bring them back faster. Mark a drop point for your squad and hit the field. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the kill. Mark a drop in that squad on your pack map. Get hunting. Bounty targets are up. Get up. Reinforcements inbound. Enemy dropping into the AO. You're the last one standing, soldier. Survive until your squad can redeploy. Redeploy. Use your pack map to hunt down the rest of them. Your squad mate is redeployed. Well done.
Man, y'all really can't hold your own, but y'all be locating for.
Time for vengeance. You're redeploying. Fusion airstrike ready to start.
Taking rounds. Target area marked. Clear hot.
squad mates back on station. Good work.
Watch out! Thermite!
Loadout drop headed your way.
Swap a mag!
Down.
Took what you did
Marking the rest
personally.
of 'em. Down. You're clear for now. Turning you to the front. Urgent.
Loading fresh mag!
Wait, what else he shooting with?
Get ready. You're redeploying.
Oh,
We've got 10 squads active in the field.
Enemy spotted.
Stand by for redeployment.
hmm. 8:46.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Changing mag!
Your squad mate is redeployed. Well done. Get ready. Resurgence window is about to close.
Take cover!
All squad mates are in the safe zone. Gas is inbound.
Oh, flip it. Why you playing like that, boy? chance not shooting at them.
Yeah, they probably think it's fake. Okay. Yeah, everything is real except for that.
Throw that away.
Okay, you want to keep it?
Yeah. Why are you throwing it away?
Okay, because it's not silver or anything. It's nothing.
It's alright.
Okay. So everything is 14K, so you would have around 3,100 here. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Cyclists also have good,
3,100 for
like, good
this.
mini things in it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but, like, a lot of the things that we...
Oh, okay, you have more?
Yeah, my boss doesn't find out, yeah.
It's 14 too. Alright, so here you have 1,700, and so then in total it's gonna be 4,800.
Close me at 49?
That's fine.
That's fine?
Yep. 4,900.
You sure it's everything here?
Yep. Alright. Okay, no problem. Have a good day. Can you try?
Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
Marking location.
Resurgence. Stay alive to keep the squad in the fight. Enemies dropping into the AO.
got this shit over here. I'm already here.
Your squad mates reach the infield. Joining them will speed up the process.
Hey, land here for me, girl.
Good kill. Marking the rest of that squad on your attack map. Get hunted. Capture complete. Hell of a job. Uploading information on the next gas spread.
Redeploying, ready for business.
Go get off.
He's right there, he's right there, he's right there.
Squad mates back on station. Your squad made it to the safe zone. You have reinforcements inbound. All remaining operators in that squad.
Back on the field.
Time for vengeance. You're redeploying. Loadout drops on the way.
Fuck.
Come on, y'all.
Bro, I did not know though.
Carmesí. Ahora viene el Carmesí. Después viene el Vicente. Y después viene el top 250.
No, vea. Tú no vas.
We're headed to the war zone. Get geared up and stand by. Enemy soldier incoming. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Enemies dropping into the AR. All stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the war zone has been authorized. Enemy soldier incoming. Resurgence. Survive and your team can redeploy. Eliminate targets to bring them back faster. Check your map. A box of point containing enemy intel nearby. Capture it for information on the next gas spree.
Call that your freebie. I want to get. Takes more than that to finish me.
Your squad mates start securing the intel. Join them to increase the speed of the capture. Well done, soldier. Check your map for the next gas spread location. Capture and secure it to get ahead of the next gas spread. Your squad mates reach the intel. Joining them will speed up the process. All squad mates are in the safe zone. You're losing ground. Move it. Intel point captured. Great work. You've earned a peek at the next gas spread. Enemy intel located. Capture and secure the intel point to discover the next gas spread. Help the squad mates secure the intel. If you join them, you'll speed up capture. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Your squad is down. Stay alive to bring them back.
I'll be back. Fuck.
Returning you to the front. Earn this. Only 10 left. Got 10 squads active. Locate the rest of them. Your squad's in the safe zone. I'm still there.
Switching mags.
Enemy destroyed. Use your tac map to hunt down the rest of them. Heads up. Enemy squad marking you with ground targets. Target down. Marking the rest of them.
Takes more than that to finish me.
Get me eyes in the sky!
Spotted a contract. Move to location.
Capture complete. Television. Uploading information on the next gas spread.
Inserting additional armor.
taken out. You're in the clear. Resurgence is close. No more second chances. There's a bounty on your head. Eliminate hostiles and secure supply caches to get rid of it. Still there.
Not done yet.
Oh, Daddy, let me check. Okay, Daddy, right? I was telling right, and that's the teacher saying how you.
Takes more than that to finish me.
Got 4 remaining. Stay sharp. 5 squads still operational in the AO. Your squad made it to the safe zone. Target location. Deploy set.
Hi, Penguin. I hear Mom talking to herself.
FFB, danger close. Over. Target grid struck. No casualties.
Switching mags.
Head to the safe zone.
Under fire.
Gas moving in.
Inserting additional ammo. Not done yet. Eyes on incoming Nathan. Takes more than that to finish me.
I just.
Inserting additional ammo.
Fuck is that?
Mission timeline expired. UAV exiting the AO.
LDBR awaiting targeting data.
Inserting additional ammo.
Dropping into the AO. Only 2
Not done
left.
yet. Changing mags.